Okay, so this is our zap. It starts in with a new form submission from our site. And the very first thing we do then is we check whether or not we have an existing client. So we've got this find or create client. And, it says search client by email. And we put the email in there and then it sets up the vcita client. If the client doesn't exist, um, and so after that's the case, it takes the way our form captures photos. It takes that and reformats it in a way that will display nicely in the conversation. and then um, and then it creates the conversation. So, obviously it gets the client ID from that previous step and then puts the stuff inside the conversation. Um, and then if it's the type of request that wants an appointment, then um, uh, then we check to see if the appointment exists or if there's an appointment time that it exists, and if the selling method that's returned by our form is an in-store appointment. And if that's the case, then it runs this Python script that takes the appointment day and the appointment time and reformats them into that UTC style that you want date time to be formatted in. And then once it does that, then it uses Python to create a remote post to set up um, to create an appointment. Okay, so that's our whole Zapier thing, and we find that it is failing. We find that it's failing, right here, fairly often. It says it found or created, in this found or created, find or created client in vcita. It's coming in here and saying that, it's unprocessable entity, saying the email um, that I already have a client with the same email. And doesn't always happen, but typically with Steve's tests, it is happening. Where, yes, we know it's an existing client. Now, we got that type of error quite a bit here in the last few days in contexts that weren't tested, right? This is an example of one that, oh no, all right, this was also a test of mine. This is one that didn't fail on an existing client. Um, but, we had a bunch of them down here that, well, it didn't fail on that one either. Well, all I know is what I'm getting here, this, let's see, let's try 7.4, yesterday's stuff. Okay, it didn't crash there, crashed someplace else. Huh. Okay, well, anyway, you see the instance where it did crash, and that error message was, that's this one here, where the error message was, the entity already exists and returned unprocessable. So we want to try and figure out how to solve that. Thanks.